Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga with Heini. I'm Heini, and this week I'm going to lead you through a hands-free Hatha Yoga class. This is strong for the legs and core, but we don't have any poses where we bear weight on hands, so no downward dogs, no arm balancing poses. Let's get started. If you have any injuries, any issues going on in your wrists, in your hands, maybe in your shoulders, we're not going to do any poses where we put weight on our hands. So this is a great practice for you if you're concerned about upper body, about arms or hands. We don't need any props for this practice either, so easygoing practice, just your mat, your practice space, somewhere where you have room to move your arms and you have kind of the full mat length for you to practice on. Then we are going to start from standing up today. So when you are ready, find a mountain pose, a steady mountain pose where you could take a moment to arrive into your practice and start finding that grounding through the feet. Start finding that support coming through the legs up into your pelvis. Feel the pelvis resting on top of the legs, on top of the feet. From pelvis up, we're going to lift that support into our spine. Finding a neutral, long spine resting on top of the pelvis. Let your shoulders soften away from the ears. And let that whole shoulder girdle rest on top of the pelvis. And then your neck, your head resting at the top of the spine. So in a way, stacking your bones, stacking your body so you don't need to tense your body when you're standing up. But you find that support from lower down to rest your body on top of the legs, rest your body on top of the feet, trying to make this first standing pose rather effortless. And then find your breath. Take a few slightly deeper breaths in and out. Let the exhalations rise up from your lower belly, starting to find that subtle core support with the breath. And if Ujjayi breath is part of your practice, you might find your gentle Ujjayi breath, your gentle ocean sound breath here. Take another breath in and out. Feel the weight is evenly on the heels and the balls of the feet. Evenly on your left and your right foot. And then, with your next in-breath, lengthen arms up towards the ceiling. Bring palms touching. Exhale, lower palms down in front of your chest. Same again. As you inhale, lengthen arms up. You could look up, bring palms together. Exhale, lower the palms down in front of your heart center. Once more. In breath, lengthen arms up. Bring palms together. Exhale, lower hands down in front of your chest. Breathe here in and out. And then we're going to come straight into our first balancing pose, the tree pose. From 2 feet, shift your weight onto your left foot. Open your right hip and you can bring your right foot next to your left ankle. You can lift the foot higher up, somewhere below the knee, or you could lift your right foot all the way up onto your left inner thigh. Where do you feel stable? Engaging both inner thighs and lifting up through the lower belly, the spine still lengthening up. Focus your gaze onto something that's not moving. And just lightly press the palms together in front of your chest. So the palms are along that midline too. Shoulders stay soft. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale slowly. Release your right foot down. Release the arms. And then we're going to stay on 2 feet. Now coming into half moon, lengthen both arms up. Interlock your fingers and then point your index fingers up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen back up. As you exhale, bend over to your right. So now we're opening the left side body, especially left foot keeps pressing down. Keep your chest open. If neck gets tense, you might look down towards the mat on your right side. Breathe in and out. Exhalations rising up from your lower belly. Take another breath in and out. And then as you inhale, come back up to center and exhale. Release the arms. You can roll the shoulders. And then we're going to do tree pose and that half moon balancing side bend to the other side. So now shift the weight onto your right foot. Open the left hip into tree pose. Again, left foot could be next to your ankle, just below the knee, or lift your foot all the way up onto the right inner thigh. Just avoid pushing your foot into the knee joint. And lift up through your inner thighs, your pelvic floor, your spine, and then lightly press the palms together in front of your chest. Focus your gaze, focus your eyes onto something that's not moving. Steady as a tree, grounding down through that right foot. The top of the head, the crown of the head lifting up. Breathe another 2 breaths in and out. And then slowly, after those 2 breaths, release the left foot down, release your arms down, and we move into that side bend, half moon pose. Inhale, lengthen arms up again. Interlock fingers, point the index fingers up towards the ceiling. And now exhale, bend to your left. So now we're opening that right side body, trying to keep the chest open. Again, you might look down to the mat if that helps the neck. Keep armpits open. And breathe, especially towards that right side rib cage. Keeping lower belly gently drawn in. Feet pressing down. Take another breath in and out. And then as you inhale, lift back up to center. Exhale, release the arms. You can roll the shoulders. And then we're going to continue into some chair poses. I'll turn sideways so you can see better. So now you choose if in your chair pose you have your feet about hip width apart, or if you want to step your feet together. Try to find that engagement through the inner thighs and lifting up into the spine. And then as you inhale, lengthen arms up overhead. Exhale, bend your knees. So coming down into chair pose, so you're going to send your pelvis back. You can tilt your back forward and keep your neck, your head in long line with the back. If keeping arms overhead feels uncomfortable in the shoulders, You could lengthen arms in front of you, or you could bring palms together in front of the chest. Make sure you have your heels and the balls of the feet pressing down, lower belly lifting in. Take another breath in and out here. And then with your next exhalation, bend down into full forward bend. You could either keep your knees bent or extend your legs further. So coming into full forward bend, you could have your hands or maybe just fingertips on the mat. Still actively press the feet down and try to keep front of the legs active. Sometimes it helps if you lift your toes just slightly off the mat. It might help you to engage through the front side of the legs. Take another breath in and out. So it's an active forward bend. Core active as well, like you're gently pulling yourself towards the thighs with your hip flexors, with your abdominal muscles. And then exhale, bend the knees more. Inhale, roll back up. You could reach arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring arms in front of you like you're placing arms onto a shelf. Turn palms towards each other. Balancing chair pose. So now spread your toes on the mat. Inhale. And as you exhale, lift your heels off the mat. So we come balancing on the balls of the feet onto our toes. And you can stay balancing here. Or exhale, bend the knees. Like you're sitting down onto a chair. But this time keep your back rather upright and keep the heels off the mat. Find your edge where you feel you can still balance. You can keep lifting the heels off the mat. And where you can breathe. Maximum, you can bring thighs parallel to the floor, but make sure you're not sitting onto your heels. So we still have to activate through the legs. Take another breath in and out. And then as you inhale, lift yourself back up. Still keep heels off the mat. And exhale, release the heels down. Roll the shoulders. And then bring hands onto your lower back, coming into standing back bend. So hands supporting the lower back. Inhale, lift your chest bone up. You can look up. And exhale, lean into a back bend. And now trying to find activation through the whole back line from heels to your shoulders, to your neck. And also the front line resisting that back bend. So keep the lower belly drawn in. Chest bone lifting up. Take another breath in and out. And then inhale, lift yourself back up to center. And release the arms. And you can roll the shoulders. From here, we'll continue into bigger standing poses. Come all the way to the top of your mat so you have space behind you to step feet back. And first, we come into balancing warrior 3. So now, left leg is going to be our standing leg first. Lift your right leg or the right foot off the mat. And then slowly start to kick the right foot behind you. At the same time, extending your back forward. So finding warrior 3 where your right leg is behind you. Your head, your back reaching forward. Standing leg could be bent, or you might straighten that left leg. Keep shooting crown of the head and the right foot away from each other. Take another breath in and out. And then we're going to step into high lunge. As you exhale, bend the left knee, step your right foot far back, and you can adjust your feet, coming into high lunge. As you inhale, reach arms up. So now we have the left knee quite deeply bent, right knee could be slightly bent as well, so lowering down. Try to find a place where you have weight on both feet, although the right heel is off the mat. Breathe in and out. Soften shoulders away from the ears. And then we're going to challenge this lunge. We're going to exhale, tilt the back forward, straighten the right leg, bring arms down next to the sides. So now we're not going to lean our belly onto the left thigh, but hover the belly off the thigh and look for a long line from head to that right foot again, like we had in that warrior 3. But this time we keep both feet down. Breathe in and out. And then as you inhale, lift back up into that high lunge, reach arms up. And the next in-breath, open into warrior 2, still keeping that left foot as our front foot, but you can adjust your feet. So make sure you can stay grounded on both feet and there's no twisting in the knees. Arms lengthen out to the sides and breathe here. Soften tops of the shoulders. Keep lifting in and up through the lower belly, through the pelvic floor. You might also look over the left hand fingers. But also focus on that right arm pulling back. So both arms reaching out. Inhale. And then exhale. Tilt down towards that left leg. Now you have an option to lean left elbow onto the left thigh, or to work more through the core, extend that left arm so you're not leaning onto anything. And right arm could reach up, or you can bring right arm behind the back. So choose your option. And breathe here. This is the extended side angle pose. We'll take another breath in and out here. Keep that left knee bent. And then slowly, slowly look down, release the pose, bringing both hands to the mat. Turn your right heel up towards the ceiling, and then step your right foot to your left foot into full forward bend. And here, shift all the weight onto your feet. Knees could be bent, or you can straighten the legs. And I suggest holding elbows in front of the legs. So you're not leaning onto your hands. We keep this as a hands-free practice. You might rock a bit from side to side. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly, if you are holding elbows, release the arms, the hands down, bend the knees and roll the back up. Come back into that mountain pose, that Tadasana pose. You can roll the shoulders. And then we're going to do all this to the other side, starting from that warrior 3 balancing pose. So now, shift weight onto your right foot. That's going to be your support. And then slowly lift left foot off the mat. And kick your left foot behind you, tilting, reaching your back forward into warrior 3. Arms, I suggest, next to your sides. Shoot the crown of the head and your left foot away from each other. Again, standing leg could be bent or could be extended. But grounding down through that right foot, Keep chest open away from the mat. Keep breathing. Take another breath here, in and out. And then we step into that high lunge. So now bend the right knee, step your left foot far back. You can adjust your feet and inhale, lengthen arms up. So right knee quite deeply bent, left knee could be slightly bent as well. Keeping the left heel off the mat. Tops of the shoulders soft. And breathe. Feel you have weight on both feet, on both legs. And then we have that ski jumper lunge. We're going to exhale, tilt the back forward, bring arms again next to your sides, extend the left leg and reach head and the left foot away from each other. Here, core active, keep lifting your belly in. Keep breathing more to the chest. Keep your neck long. Take another breath here. And then inhale, lift your back up. Reach arms up, open the chest. And then we turn into that warrior two. So now we turn to the other long side of the mat. And again, I suggest adjusting feet. So if your hips, your pelvis are happy and you feel, you can keep the weight on your both legs. Soften shoulders away from the ears. You can also left arm pulling slightly back. Right arm pulling slightly to the top of the mat. You could look over your right hand fingers if you want. Breathe in and out. Just let yourself ground down. Shaking in the legs is very welcome here already. And then as you exhale, tilt towards the right thigh. Again, option to lean right elbow onto the right thigh or extend the right arm. So you have to use more your core muscles to hover in this pose. Left arm could reach up, or you could also bring left arm behind the back. If neck is tense, you can look down to the mat. Think about your left foot, your head reaching away from each other. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly look down and bring hands down. Turn your left heel up towards the ceiling. And now step your left foot to your right foot. And again, exhale round the back into that full forward bend. You could shake the head. And you could hold elbows in front of your legs. Or if you want, you could also bring arms behind the back. Interlock fingers. Extend arms lower down behind the back. But if there are any problems in the shoulders, don't force your shoulders. Make sure that you feel safe in this pose. And release the neck, heavy head dropping down. One more breath in and out. And then if you have arms behind the back, bring your hands down, bend the knees. And from here, roll the back up once more. Come back into that mountain pose. Open the chest, roll the shoulders. And take just a couple of breaths here. Standing on 2 feet, let yourself ground down. Last standing pose. Because then we are next going to come lie down on the mat. So when you're ready, bring yourself to lie down on your back, on your mat. And we take a mini Shavasana pose here. Just to release the feet a bit. Let the breath calm down. So just come lie down on the back and allow yourself to take a bit deeper belly breaths in and out. Feel the feet releasing here. If your neck feels tense, you could rock the head from side to side a couple of times. And then we are going to do a bit of core work before we do some back bends. And we're going to use the scissor legs for this. Lying down on your back. First, bend your knees. Find a neutral shape in the spine. And then extend your both legs up towards the ceiling. Now for the upper body, you have two options. You can either keep arms next to your sides. Exhale, lift your neck, your upper back off the mat. You could look to your thighs. If that feels uncomfortable in the neck, bring hands behind the head so you're supporting your head onto your hands. Now focus on your breath as we start to scissor the legs. Exhale. Extend your left leg away from the head, but keep it hovering off the mat, the right leg reaching towards your chest. Exhale, change the legs the other way around. Exhale again, change the legs, always in breath here. Exhale, scissor the legs the other way around. And we continue. Continue with your own breath, another 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep breathing, keep breathing. 7, 8, 9. Last one, 10. Bring your both legs up towards the ceiling and then release the upper body down. Hug the knees in. You could rock a bit from side to side. And then bring your feet onto the mat, arms down next to your sides, bridge pose. Inhale. Exhale, press your feet down, lift your pelvis, lift your back off the mat. So now opening the front line. Keep your inner thighs active, so don't let the knees drop out to the side, but keep your big toes pressing onto the mat as well. If you want, you could interlock fingers under pelvis, walk shoulder blades closer together if that feels good in your shoulders, your chest. Take another breath or two in and out. Make sure you're not hurting in the back. If you are, then leave pelvis lower down. With your next exhalation, release the pose. Bring your back onto the mat. And a couple of times swing the legs a bit from side to side. Just releasing the hips, the back area. And then from your back, roll down onto your belly. You can keep your head the same way it is, but just roll down onto your belly. As long as you can still see, we're going to continue our back bends from here. Now extend your legs behind you and extend your arms next to your sides, palms facing down towards the mat. Head is still down. First, reach head and feet away from each other. Slightly press the front of the pelvis onto the mat, coming into locust pose. Next in-breath towards the chest, peel the chest and the legs slightly off the mat. You could keep looking down to the mat, or you might look forward. See what feels best in your neck, in your back. And you could keep your hands still down on the mat, or if you want, start to hover the hands off the mat. Maybe even turn palms out to the side, so you're turning your thumbs up towards the ceiling. Here as well, inner thighs active. Breathe more to the chest. Take another breath in and out. Lower belly drawing in. And then exhale, release the pose. Bring the chest down. You could bring hands under your head. Lean head down onto your hands so you can rest your neck. And maybe shimmy, gonna rock the pelvis a bit from side to side. Take a deeper belly breath in and out. And we're going to do one more back bend, slightly deeper, bigger back bend, the bow pose. So if you think the previous pose was already deep enough, just repeat the same pose again. Or if you want to try the bow pose, bend your both knees. So you lift your feet up towards the ceiling and then reach hands towards the feet. You could either take hold of your feet, or if that feels too much, just reach towards the feet. You don't have to hold them. And this could be plenty enough for a bow pose. You can stay down here, lightly pressing down through the front of the pelvis. If you want to go one step further, again, inhale to the chest and start to peel the chest off the mat. Legs gently kicking up and towards the back of the mat. So the legs help you lift the chest slightly higher up. If you start to feel any pain in the back, come lower down or release the pose completely. And make sure you can still breathe. You can keep lightly pressing down through the front of the pelvis, the lower belly drawing gently in. Breathe more to the chest. Another breath in and out. And then exhale, release. First bring your chest down, then let go of your feet. And from your belly, come onto elbows and knees, and then round the back into child's pose. So lean the pelvis towards your feet and let your upper body lean forward. You could leave arms overhead if you want. Or you might bring arms down next to your legs. Just allowing a bit of rounding in the spine as a counter pose after those back bends. That was a lot of back bending. Couple more breaths in and out. And then after those couple of breaths, slowly bring yourself up into a seat. Come up into a seat so that you can bring your pelvis down onto the mat and extend your legs in front of you. We're going to do a few seated poses here, getting into a twist, but also some stretches for the legs after all those standing poses. And we're going to start with that twist. Now first, leave your left leg extended and bend your right knee. And I suggest today you step the right foot to the inside of your left leg, and that might help keep the pelvis a bit more neutral. We're going to do an open twist. So right knee bent, lengthen your right arm up, and then bring your right elbow to the inside of your right knee or thigh. And twist to the left, reaching left hand behind you. Maybe it's the fingertips or the whole hand on the mat behind the pelvis. Inhale, lift up through the back. Exhale, twist to your left. So this is the less common twist. Often we twist towards that bent leg knee, but now we're going to do an open twist. So twisting towards that open space that we have on top of that left leg. Keep your tops of the shoulders soft. You don't have to turn your head into the twist. You can keep your neck more neutral. Take another breath in and out here. And then as you exhale, release that twist. Come back to the center and still keep your left leg extended. We're coming to half saddle pose or half hero pose. And we're going to now bend the right leg next to us so that you're maybe sitting next to that right heel. You can open your right knee further out to the side or bring it closer to the left leg. Make sure there's no pain in the knee. If this shape is completely impossible now for the knee, the hip, the foot, you can choose to also open leg into a butterfly. But if possible, try this half saddle. We're going to step hands behind the pelvis and then just slightly tuck the tailbone under. Again, see how it feels. Remember, the butterfly leg is an option. Looking for opening in the front of that right thigh, you could slowly lean onto the elbows, getting away from the hands, opening through the front line. Take a couple more breaths in and out. Make sure, again, there's no pain in the knee, there's no pain in your foot or the back. If you want, you could even lean your head behind you, but be mindful of your neck. See how that feels. Take one more breath in and out. And then if you have head behind you, first bring chin to the chest. And then slowly lift yourself back up into that seat. And now you have an option to keep legs in this shape, possibly open the right knee further out to the side, or again, you can change for butterfly legs. So you could bring your right foot to the left inner thigh if you want. So like this, if you want. If the half saddle legs feel okay, keep them for our forward bend. So now walk hands towards that left foot, over that left leg. Inhale and exhale. Slowly, slowly start to bend down. You could stay on hands, but you could also lower down onto elbows here. So coming into full forward bend, maybe releasing the neck, the head down if that feels okay in the neck. And breathe a few times in and out. Throughout the pose, you can adjust your legs. It's a big pose for both legs. Make sure, again, there's no pain in the hips or knees. It could be a big stretch along the back as well. Take another breath in and out, opening the whole back line. And then slowly, slowly, as you inhale, roll the back up. Then roll the shoulders. And we're going to do all of this to the other side. So change your legs, extend your extend your right leg and bend the left leg. And now step your left foot to the inside of your right knee or shin or thigh. Reach left arm up to the ceiling and then bring your left elbow to the inside of your left knee or thigh and twist out to the right hand or maybe just fingertips on the mat. So we're not leaning onto the hand. The hand is there just to support us. There's more lifting through the back up towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. Just slightly continue twisting out to the right side. And here as well, we need to keep that left inner thigh active because the left elbow is pressing against the left thigh, the knee. So you might feel that you have to keep that left leg quite active. And that's good. So we're not collapsed into this pose. We still have activation through the core. Leave space for the breaths. Take another breath in and out in your twist. And then slowly, slowly exhale, release the twist. And we'll go into that half saddle, half hero. So try now bending left leg next to you. So you're sitting next to that left heel. Again, you can adjust the knee to go more out to the side or bring the knees closer together. See where can you find a manageable place. Or you have option for the butterfly opening in that left hip. That is an option as well. And then start to lean back. First, tuck the tailbone slightly under. And then see if there would be room to lean just a bit further back. Maybe down onto elbows. Some of you might lean all the way down onto the back, but don't push it. Make sure you don't feel any pain in the back. We're more focused on that stretch, that opening in the front of the left thigh here, left hip. Again, if you want, you might drop your head back, but that's very optional. See how the neck feels. You can also keep your chin close to the chest. Couple more breaths in and out. And then slowly, slowly we're going to come back up, lifting up. Chin comes first to the chest. And preparing for the forward bend. Again, you can adjust the legs. Maybe at this point you want to open the left leg into butterfly. And then walk hands forward towards that right foot. Inhale. Exhale, lean forward. And see how far it's good to go. Maybe the second side feels very different. That's very normal. If it feels good to lean down onto elbows, you might lean onto elbows. And if it feels okay to soften the neck, let the head drop down as well. So it could be a big stretch on the back of your right leg. Could be a big stretch along the whole spine. Could be a big stretch around that left hip, left thigh and buttock as well. Just notice where you feel the pose and send a few more breaths to that area. Let the exhalations release, soften some tension. Soften the neck. One more breath in and out. And then with the next in breath, slowly, slowly bring yourself back up. Release your legs, release both legs. You could shake the legs a bit. And then it is time for Shavasana pose, our resting pose. So bring yourself back, lying down on your back. Find a comfortable pose here. You have an option to open legs into a butterfly shape, reclining butterfly if you want. so that you have the soles of the feet turned towards each other, and then legs in a kind of diamond shape, knees turned out to the sides if you feel that's releasing the legs more. Of course, you have an option to extend the legs, a more traditional Shavasana pose. Or maybe just keep the knees bent so that your knees point up towards the ceiling. If you feel the back is achy now, that might be the best option. So any shape in the legs that allows them to relax. Also allows your back to relax. And find an easy place for the arms to soften. Once you have found your resting pose, bring your full awareness to your breath. You could close your eyes. Allow exhalations to soften tension. Release effort in your whole body. If you still need to adjust your resting pose to make it more comfortable, let yourself make changes. Just notice how you feel now. Allow your feet to soften. Allow your legs to soften. Allow your hips, your whole pelvis to soften. Release your back. Let your back and your shoulders soften down towards the mat. Let your arms relax. Let your hands, even your fingers, relax. And finally, let your neck, your heavy head, soften. Allow your whole body to take a moment to rest. Release tension in this final resting pose. Give yourself a few more breaths in your resting pose. Or if you now feel that you need to extend your resting pose to be longer, you are very welcome to stay in this Shavasana pose longer, as long as you want to, as long as you need to. Or if after those few breaths you feel that you'd like to start closing the practice, first bring some gentle movement back to your fingers, your toes. You could slowly open your eyes. Maybe reach arms overhead along the floor. Stretch the whole body long from hands down to the feet. And then from your back, roll down onto your side. Either left or the right side, which one feels more natural to you now. And then from your side, bring yourself up into a seat. And find an easy, comfortable seat. You might close your eyes or just soften your gaze down towards the floor, down towards the mat. If it's part of your practice, you could bring your palms together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of the practice, thank yourself for bringing yourself, your body, your breath, your mind onto the mat, into your practice today. And I thank you very much for joining in, for sharing your practice. Namaste. Thank you. Good. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you feel strong, energized, but at the same time relaxed now. If you enjoyed the practice, please give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know, especially how your legs feel after this practice. And thank you again for joining in. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.